Hello and happy Monday, D1. I hope you guys all had a great weekend. Let's go ahead and let's talk about what our jobs are for today. So, first things first, as you can see on the homepage, it is Red Ribbon Week, which means we're having spirit days for each day of the week. As I said in the email and a class dojo I sent home over the weekend, you guys will be earning points for each day that you dress up. So, if you dress up for today, which is pajama day, guess what? You're going to get a class dojo point just for dressing up and showing school spirit, which I think is a really cool opportunity. So make sure you guys are dressing up if you can. I think it's a really fun way for us to continue to build our classroom community. So we have our Red Ribbon Week, and today is pajama day. If you want to go ahead and get a sneak peek about for the other days, you can go ahead. You can click the calendar/news. And you scroll down, you'll see here is our calendar with all of our assignments, class schedule, and then up over here we see our announcements. If I click right here, it will tell me the days for the spirit days for the week. So you can go ahead and check that out. But let's go ahead, let's look at our assignments for the week. So it's the week of 10/26 through the 30th, and it is Monday. And again, it is pajama day, so make sure you come to Zoom in your pajamas ready to go. And then we have our jobs for the day. So, first things first, we have our morning work. This week we are working on irregular plural nouns. And irregular plural nouns, they're different than plural nouns because plural nouns has a lot of rules, right? It has a lot of rules, but there's still a couple rules that we need to go over for plural nouns, and we're going to talk about them this week. So you're going to go ahead. You are going to watch this video. It talks about irregular plural nouns. Then you're going to go to slide 2. Remember, for your morning work, now there are 2 slides, 2 or more slides, because you are given a video on the first slide, and your second slide is your work. So if you are just turning this in without going to slide number 2 and typing, you are not following the directions. So make sure you watch the video. After the video, you complete the job on slide number 2. And so it asks you, what are irregular plural nouns? So if you watch the video, whatever you hear from the video, you are going to go ahead and type here. Then you're going to see that in some irregular plural nouns, as it says, an F is changed to a V and an S or ES is added. So sometimes you just add an S and sometimes you add ES. And so it goes ahead and it shows you exactly what it means. So for example, leaf, it ends in an F, and so it changes to a V, and then because there was no E to begin with, it added ES. But for life, it turned the F to a V, and it already ended in an E, so you just add an S. And so keep that in mind for these examples up here. And then it's telling you that in other irregular plural nouns, the OO, the double O, is changed to an E. And so you're going to go ahead, you see foot and feet, and so you're going to change it for goose and tooth. Then you have your morning journal. And for Monday morning, it is Make Believe Monday. And in your journal, you're going to write a story about overcoming an obstacle. And so an obstacle is a challenge. And so think in your brain, especially when we talked about growth mindset, that might be really helpful to think about, and a fixed mindset. So when you had to overcome a challenge, something was really hard for you to do, but you stuck with it and you were able to achieve your goal, or whatever it was that you were trying to accomplish, you were able to accomplish and achieve it. And so that is what you're going to be writing about today. Then we have our Zoom at 9. I cannot wait to see you all in your PJs. At 10 o'clock, we will wrap up our Zoom and you will move on to your IB job. This week, we are talking about 2 older explorers, one of them being Leif Erikson. And so you're going to go ahead, you are going to start off by watching this video. And so I'm going to click the little camera and it's going to pop up with a video about Leif Erikson. So you're going to go ahead, you are going to click it. And before I have anyone tell me, Miss Walsh, it shows with 2 S's, apparently his name is spelled multiple different ways depending on the language in which it's translated to. So, keep that in mind. You're going to see his last name spelled probably different a couple of times, but just know it's because it's translated differently. And so I've looked so much into it. So that's just a little fun fact. And so, anyways, video camera, that is where the video is. Then you're going to have 2 jobs for Leif Erikson IB today. Your first job is going to be on this IB logo right here, so you can go ahead and click it. And you are going to complete the IB Explorer chart like you had done with Amelia and Bessie. And so you're going to write the explorer's name, biographical information, timeline from when they traveled, place of exploration, purpose of exploration, and their impact/effect. I promise you guys, all the information's in the video. If you need to, I might even take notes while watching the video. So make sure I have this I'm copying down the information as I'm watching it. So I'm like, oh, that's biographical information, and copy it down. Oh, they just said the date. I'm going to copy that down. When did he start traveling? Oops, I'm going to write that down. Where did he go? So go ahead and make sure that you are writing down, taking notes, if that might be helpful, because I know that would be helpful for me. And then you have your second task, and you're like, Miss Walsh, 2 jobs, like, This one is a little art project. It's really fun. And so for Leif Erikson, there's this for their country. It's called the Norse alphabet. It's also referred to as a runic alphabet. And so what your job is going to be is you are going to, on a piece of paper, it could be in your journal or any piece of paper you might have, you are going to write your name. So you're going to zoom in and you're going to see that there's all these symbols for different parts of the alphabet. And so some things that I really want to point out is if you have, for example, I'm trying to find one. Okay, for example, Olivia. So her name is spelled Olivia. Well, instead of putting an I and an A, you can see the alphabet right here has an I and A together. And so her I that she has before her V is going to look different than what she would than what she had put before, because she's going to put the IA symbol instead. So just keep that in mind and make sure you're looking carefully as you're spelling. So that way you guys are making sure you're spelling your names correctly. And you can make it as colorful as you want. You can decorate it, make it all pretty. And then you're going to, on slide number 2, take a picture with your sign, with your name in the Norse alphabet, and you are going to insert it here. Then you have a break. Take that break. You're going to need it after all that exploring. And then you're going to come back and do your prefix and suffix practice, because it is a daily job and you guys want to become stronger readers. So you're going to go ahead and you are going to watch this and practice, practice, practice. Then you are going to have your Leif Erikson reading and quick check. So we're going to continue to learn a little bit more about Leif Erikson. So you're going to press the orange book. And it's important that we get these jobs done, because we don't just learn about Leif Erikson and just forget that information. No, we are going to look at it further into the week. So make sure you are paying attention, you are focused during the video, and you're listening while you're reading, because we're going to come back to this information later in the week. Alright, so Leif Erikson, you are going to go ahead, you are going to listen to the story. You can also read if you would like to, but you have the option to listen to the story. You also are going to then go to slide number 2, because we don't just listen to the story, we now need to show that we comprehend the story. And you are going to answer these questions. Again, Miss Walsh made audio to help you out if you need it. And so you're going to go ahead for number 1. You are going to write A, B, C, or D. You are going to answer the multiple choice question. Then for answer number 2 or question number 2, it is a true or false question. True means yes, that is correct. False means no, that is wrong. And so you are going to go ahead, you are going to give me a T if it's correct, or an F if it's not correct. And so you're going to go ahead, you're going to type that there. Then for number 3, it asks you to write a 5-sentence summary. So that means you need at least 5 sentences, and you should probably not have more than 5. So make sure it's 5 sentences. And you are going to tell me the main idea of the story as well as key details. And so you may need to go back to slide number 1. And you are going to go back because that's part of the directions. And you are going to highlight information about the main idea and its key details in green. In green. That is why it shows green here. So you're going to go back. Remember, this text is editable, meaning that you can go back and highlight it. We went over highlighting on Friday. I've made a video on it, so I cannot have friends now say, oh, it doesn't work for me, because we've practiced it together, and so I do know that it works for you. So my expectation is that you do go back and highlight. This is how scholars do their work. They make sure and they prove that they're right, and that's exactly what we're going to do. So you're going to go back to slide 1 for number 3 and highlight green the main idea and key details. So you can prove and say, Miss Walsh, I know I'm right. Look right here. And then after that, you are going to have an opportunity to begin your personal narrative final draft. So if I click this pencil right here, you are going to see that it takes me to my final draft. As it says right here, and as it says right here, and as well as it says right here. It is due November 2nd. So that means I am not expecting you to have it done today. That would be so unfair of me, and I know that. So you have until November 2nd to type your complete final draft. So keep that in mind. And so Miss Walsh already kind of helped you guys out here. So I kind of already gave you directions about exactly how your paper should be set up. And so you're going to go ahead up here. You are going to type your name. So I would type Miss Walsh. Then you're going to type your title. Remember we talked about when I was doing my editing and revising checklist and I was modeling for you guys, one of the things asks for you to have a capitalized title. And I went, oh my goodness, I don't have a title. So I had to go back and I had to add a title. So you are going to then take this title and you are going to put it right here. So your title is what you're calling your story. And so I believe I said my title was Miss Walsh Escapes Gringotts. And so that way I kind of was playing fun with the name of the ride, but also was including myself because it's a story about me, right? So you are going to put your title there. Then you are going to begin typing here. I made a text box. Please do not mess with the size of the text box. I made it this size on purpose. So please just keep that in mind. And then you can just see there's a reminder that your narrative should be 4 to 5 paragraphs long. And then over here, you are going to see that there are some scholarly tips that Miss Walsh has left for you guys. And I also have an audio that will read the tips to you. So you can go ahead and click that. And then I also have 2 additional slides if you need it. You possibly are going to end up on the second slide. And that is not something you should be frustrated or go ugh about. That should be like, oh my gosh, I made it onto the second slide. Like, that's a big deal. So if you end up going onto the second or even onto the third slide, awesome job. That is incredible. That's nothing to be dreadful about or go, oh, I'm gonna end up on the second slide. No, that's really awesome if you end up there. So just make sure you're keeping that in mind while you are typing, and definitely check out those scholarly tips, because my friends who follow these scholarly tips, they're guaranteed to get a 3. And then also you are going to find that under the personal narrative job, I've also put the rubric for the personal narrative. So you can also find that there, and I'll show you after we go over the schedule. So you have lunch. After lunch, there is skip counting with 5 and 10. So you're going to go ahead, you are going to click the math symbols. We are going to be talking about multiplying 5 and 10 in today's Zoom, and you guys are going to be multiplying 5 and 10 ninjas by the end of the day. I can guarantee that. And so one of the skills we're going to talk about is skip counting, because skip counting helps us with multiplication. And so you're going to go ahead, you are going to complete slide number 2, and you're going to have to figure out, is it counting by 10s or 5s, and you are going to put in the correct answer. So you're just going to click on it and type in the number that is missing. And then again, here you have to decide, am I counting by 10s or 5s, and you are going to insert the missing numbers as you go along. And then, as I promised, I'm going to go ahead and really quickly show you that under your personal narrative final draft, you are going to see that there is the personal narrative rubric. And so if you're like, ooh, I forgot exactly how Miss Walsh was going to grade us on this. I know we talked about it before with ouch moments, but I want to be positive and I want to be a superstar, make sure that I get that 3, then you can go ahead and come over here and you can read the rubric, and you can see that a 3 is grade level. Miss Walsh has given you all the tools you need to get to a 3, so go ahead, you can even check again the rubric to make sure you check off, oh, I used lots of dialogue. Oh, I used correct sentence structure. I made sure my sentences all didn't start the same. Check. So go through, and this will be a really helpful tool for the week. And that is going to be it. You have your iReady Math 30 minutes, and then you're going to clean up for the day. And then it will be Tuesday. All right, you guys, awesome job. I look forward to seeing you at 9 a.m. for a Zoom. And yeah, all right, have a great rest of your day, D1. Bye.